I'm JohnE McCray and this is my In the Bag. Let's start with putters. I have 4 different putters. These are my 2 putting putters that I use. My main putter is a little bit softer. I use that pretty much 90% of the time, unless it's a dead headwind, then I'll use the stiffer one. And those are my 2 putting putters. I throw up shots with them as well. I don't really like to throw drives with these ones as much, but I throw shorter 100 and 150 foot up shots with them. And then I drive with these 2 putters. This one's my straighter and my turnover and great flying disc. And then this one here is an Evolution plastic with the Dynamite disc stamp on there, Aaron Boyle stamp, which is awesome. And this is a great flying disc, a little bit more overstable, and it actually hyzer, so and I can throw them pretty far with ease. So they're great disc, Wizards, always a good disc. My mid-ranges, I got quite a few for this event here at the Canyon. We're at the Canyon in Brooksville, Florida, and for this event, you're demanding course where you might end up with multiple aptitudes of shot. So right now I have quite a few mid-ranges in my bag, and I should probably shuffle through about 60 discs in my bag that I use. And you know, certain shots require a different disc, and yeah, so I've shuffled through quite a few discs, and you know, keep them there, and when I need them, I put them back in the bag. And let's start with my most understable disc. This is my hyzer flip turnover shot. It's an Element and a really good turnover disc. And then I got 2 Element X's, which this one's starting to turn over quite a bit, so I have to start it with a little bit of hyzer or get it way up high so it fades to the right. And then this one's much straighter. I can force it to the right, and I can throw it flat. It'll finish left a little, throw it real hard, and it'll go pretty straight. Real good mid-ranges. Then I have 2 Warriors, which are the step up from the Element X's. They're on the straighter line, but they're more of a windier, straighter line. When it's a little windier, this one is beautifully straight, and then this one's a little bit more overstable. So really good windy discs. And then I got 1 Karma in the bag, which is a step up from the Warrior. So if it gets really windy, you want this to go straight, which in no wind, it's a great upshot disc, predictable. It's boom, dumping to the left. I'm throwing right-handed backhand, and they're dumping to the left real nice. Another great disc. One of the major discs that I don't have in my bag this weekend, which is the disc that hooked me on Gateway Disc Sports to begin with, is the Demon, which is the most reliable disc, in my opinion, out there. And try one of those, because you'll never have to wonder where it's going. And onto my drivers, I have my main driver. If I could throw this disc every shot, I would. It's a slower disc, but it's a Blaze, Evolution Blaze, and this disc is great. I can work it every which direction straight. It's great in the wind. It just doesn't go as far as some of the longer drivers. Otherwise, I'd use it every time. And it really is my favorite driver, the Blaze. For this weekend, I have 2 Apaches in my bag. This one is well worn and got me an incredible birdie yesterday that on a really tough hole, which there's probably only a couple birdies on it the whole weekend, and this one got it done for me. A little hyzer flip up through the tunnel, and on hole 10 at Brooksville at the Canyon here, it was awesome. Death putt, it was pretty neat. You might see a video of it somewhere. And might see a video of it somewhere. And this one here is a newer one, and the Apache's more of a straighter flyer, so I can start this one out there and it'll come back just a little. It's not a big hyzer disc or anything, but good straight flyer, good turnover. Not too much of a hyzer. I don't ask these to hyzer too much for me, but great discs. And then I got my Illusion, which is another staple of my game, which this particular disc, I don't like to hit any trees with it, so I try not to throw it on a hole where I think there's any trees, you know. I try not to ever hit a tree, but yeah, this guy had great disc, Illusion. Garrett Gerthy won his first U.S. title with the Blue Illusion, just like this one, as a matter of fact, my good friend Garrett. And yeah, great discs. I have some overstable discs. I got actually another Illusion that's worn in a little bit. You can see that thing is quite waffled. And this is also a great disc for the wind. It's a great turnover disc into the wind, because when it gets windy, you got to choose a different disc, and this is it for me in the wind. And then I have 3 Spirits, which this one here is my woodsy disc. I like to do late. It's very worn in. It's been in my bag for probably 4 or 5 years, and so I can get it to glide way right, and always finishes just a little bit at the end. So this one's definitely worn in, and I like to flick this one because I don't have a very powerful flick yet, and so this one. I always throw my best flick shots with this one. And then I have this one, which is right in the middle. This is the middle of the road. It's not straight at all, which Spirits aren't straight, so. But this one here, I can get to go straight for a long time, and then it'll crash left. And great controllable disc. I expect this to go where I want it to every time. And then I have this one here, which is the meat hook. And man, I gotta throw this as hard as I can on an angle like this. And it hardly wants to go 350, so I got to really work at it. And but it's coming left every time, so it's good for that. And no matter what the wind is, it's coming left. So great overstable disc. And then my real fast drivers, I have 3 of them. So you can see most of my discs, I have an understable, a straight, and then an overstable. Same with my Slayers. These are my distance discs. I like to throw these for when I'm trying to max out. And this one here takes a nice slow ride. It's not very overstable at all. And then this one here is the straighter one, and I can pop that one and it carries nice and straight, finishes straight, slides straight. Great disc. And then this one here, it's newer and it's actually getting worn in, but it still wants to get left. And yeah, Slayers are great disc as well. If you have any questions about any Gateway disc, go to gdstour.com and check out their lineup. They got great discs, just like every company, and try them out, give them a try. They might work for you like they work for me. And I'd like to thank some of my sponsors now. I'd like to thank Gateway Disc Sports for standing behind me for years. I'd also like to thank Disc Golf Center, who's jumping on board, helping me out. Great guys, Jerry Sunking and Wade. They are great people. You call them up, you can get your weight, your color, whatever disc you want. Check them out online, call them up, check them out, Disc Golf Center. And I'd also like to thank Down South Disc Golf, who's going to be jumping on board. I have another company, Upper Park Designs, who's going to be making golf bags, hopefully jumping on board. I'd also like to thank Dynamite Discs, Juanita's Restaurant, a lot of people, my friends, all my Florida friends who've been helping me out with my tour discs. Whew, you guys, I love you. Whew. I'd like to thank Disc Golf Center.
No rush, bud.
That's me. Right, that's me though, I can't help it. So, yeah, so let's try that again.
Give me a second.